Welcome to How to Everyday. I'm Maria Rivero, and in this channel I will take you from basic cooking to not so basic installations, home improvement projects, fitness, health and beauty, pet care, cleaning, organizing, product recommendations and reviews that you can always find in the links below. Like, subscribe and share with all your friends and family. Enjoy the channel.
Okay, this is 3-in-1 cherry. Here it is, it's alive! We put it in water.
So we are very excited because we got our trees from Home Depot. They actually order them from online orchids and then they send it to you as Home Depot. They come with instructions, they are very clear and easy to follow. So basically you just need to get them out of the box as soon as they arrive, place them in water for at least 1 hour. We left them there about 4 hours before we plant them. They're going to come with a plastic wrap and some straw to keep the humidity. Don't remove the plastic, this way you will avoid the air getting in contact with the roots. If the roots get in contact with the air, you can kill your tree. So just let the water get in there, they're gonna be fine. We ordered 6 different fruit trees: apple, cherry, pear, apricot, plum, and peach. We don't have a lot of space, we have 1 acre. Most apple, cherry, and pears will need a pollinator, so here is a cherry. They have with 3 and 5 varieties in the same tree. This way you don't have to use a lot of space. We also got the apple with about 5 varieties in there, and the pear with 2 varieties. Here I'm showing the cherry and all the cherry varieties. So the advantages of having 2 or 3 varieties in one tree is that you don't have to plant a lot of trees and you can still have different varieties for them to pollinate and give fruit. If they don't pollinate with other varieties, you'll never have fruit. Just remember to cover the roots here. Don't let the wind and the air get them. When you order your fruit trees, they are supposed to come in a dormant state, so sometimes they look dead. But as you can see, this one had come already out of the dormant state. It was a little bit on purpose. I ordered them starting about mid-March. This way they would know for sure if they were alive. For the distance between trees, you can do 10 to 20 feet. It depends on the trees, if it's a dwarf variety or not, how big it's gonna grow, what kind of fruit tree, but at least 10 feet away, it's a good distance between fruit trees. Holes should be about 2 by 2 feet. If you already have them in a gallon or they have dirt already, you can just make them on that side according to the instructions that we got. But it's always good to have loose dirt around so the roots can develop. It has rained for 2 days and we have all the holes digged out and you can see all the water staying on the bottom. We have clay, so we're going to add gravel and dirt on the sides, the way the roots can, instead of being sitting on the bottom, they will be standing on the gravel, and this will help the drainage and the roots can just go to the bottom for the water if they need to. I have the holes about 12 to 15 feet and distance, which is a good distance depending of how big the tree are gonna be. You have to see what kind of tree you have, and I can leave a table for that, and so you can know the distance. I have 12 feet from some of them and 15 for others, especially the pear, since it's gonna be a regular size pear. Here is a planting chart that came with the instructions from online orchids. It actually comes with very good information. Here you can see, depending on the variety of your tree, the distance, the height, the years it's going to be bearing fruit. And so I hope this chart helps you. It's there for a moment if you want to take a screenshot. And I hope this helps you. We use about 1 of those buckets for each tree and 1 wheelbarrow of dirt for each tree. That way you can kind of have an idea of how much dirt you need. We pour half of the bucket and then measure just to make sure how high the tree was gonna go, because it needs to be level with the ground. You don't want the roots sticking out from the ground. So once you put the gravel, make sure to put it like in a pyramid position, just all the gravel to the middle. That way the highest point is the center, and you can just put dirt around it like you're gonna see. Here you can see after applying the gravel, the water stays on the bottom, so the roots won't be just in the middle of a puddle. They can go down if they need the water, but they don't have to be sitting on the water. When you plant your fruit tree, you don't need to remove the straw. That's gonna turn into dirt eventually, and it's gonna help the tree to grow. Just make sure that most of the gravel is in the center. That way it will give some height to your new tree and the roots will go around. Here we are going to pull arrange with being very careful that the roots come down on the sides. And I'm also making sure that it's level. You can see there the ground level must be where the trunk ends, and if it's a dwarf variety, you can see where they attach one trunk to the next one, and that has to be about 2 inches above ground. So just make sure you have enough height. If not, you can add, like we did, a little bit more gravel and put the roots down and around, let them go down. Just be very careful. I mean, they are very resistant and everything, just be nice and don't break it. And piling there everything in the middle, that way I can have a little bit more of height and the dirt can go around. The tree will always have drainage and the roots will go to the dirt. So here I share a picture of how it's supposed to look. You can see the soil level there and the gravel and where the roots are supposed to be. This is a good chance to get some good dirt and quality soil for your trees, good drainage, and make sure you don't have standing water underneath. I do have standing water underneath, and that's why I put the gravel. This way the water will just stay underneath the gravel, and if the tree needs the water, the roots will just grow down and get it from there, but it won't be on sitting water. Just keep adding the soil. You can add 1/4 or max 1/3 of peat moss or compost. I am adding here compost, leaf compost, and it works very well for my vegetables and everything. So make sure you plant them in a place where you can get the water through there, maybe where the hose can get to, and where they have full sun. Fruit trees usually need a lot of sun. They prefer to have sun all day. If water is a problem, you can always add some hydrogel to the gravel underneath or to the soil. This way the moisture will stay there whenever it rains if you're in a place where you don't get a lot of water. You can also add a PVC pipe next to the tree that goes all the way into the roots, like I'm gonna do with some other of my trees, and I can show you at the end of the video. And this way you can just put the water right into the roots, and you don't have all the water just standing on the surface and get it evaporated. Make sure to press down on the roots. This will avoid airbags and everything getting close to the roots. The roots need to be tight, and this will increase the roots growing. And even when it's gonna rain today, we are adding a whole other bucket of water. Always add a bucket of water when you plant a fruit tree or any other shrub. Just add a whole bucket of water and make sure it has a lot of dirt. If you also want the water to sit there when it rains, you can just make an edge with the same dirt around the tree. This way the water will just sit next to the tree, or if you leave it in the way we're leaving it, it will just slide down to the edges and come through the edges. So make sure you have a lot of water, that the dirt is loose, but it's compacted for the roots to start growing. This is a PVC pipe piece that we forgot to put in that tree. If you want to add a PVC pipe, just make sure you dig all the way down to the roots and put the PVC pipe there. This is a 2-inch PVC pipe. It's 18 inches long. I recommend 2 feet. So 24 inches, I think it's a little bit better. And if you can put a cap on top of it, that's much better. That way you will avoid insects getting right into the pipe and eating the roots of your trees. If you want to add a fertilizer, a synthetic fertilizer, the good choice is a 10-10-10. That means it's going to have 10% of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So that's a 10-10-10. And if you want to go organic, you can do manure or compost or chicken compost. In the early spring, I would do the chicken, and late summer the cow. And you would want to fertilize only in April and March and late June, July. This way, if don't do it after summer, otherwise you'll have your trees thinking, oh, there's food again, let's wake up again, and you'll take them out of their dormant state, and it might be too cold for them, and they're getting back to life on those moments, and that could kill your tree. So just let it be dormant when it has to be dormant, and apply fertilizer right before the buds of your plant start to open. That's early April or March. And the second, if you really think it needs it, it could be late June, July. For synthetic fertilizers, it's always a good idea to dissolve them a little bit. If you want to know how to make your own compost, I have videos on that. Also how to make your own pesticide and your weed killer without killing bees and other pollinators. Here I'm getting ready to cut the PVC pipes for the irrigation system. I'm using a 2-inch PVC pipe. You can use a cap on the end. If you are going to use a wider one, you can have water evaporating from the roots instead of going into the roots. So it's always good to cover the end with a cap. And I'm going to measure about 18 inches to 24 inches. Mine were 18 inches, but they were kind of short. So 2 feet are a bit better. I am using a Ryobi cordless tool. It's a circular saw. If you want information about the tools I used, or if the fertilizer or any products I used, you can just find them on the descriptions. Thank you. Thanks for watching.